Hello there, Taylor with the multi-info report. First things first, en français, il n'y a rien, il n'y a rien. And then in Espanol, no, I'm not a key, that is so not the correct accent. And then finally in English, where we have a new storm to talk about. And then, of course, we have Typhoon Haiyan, where Typhoon Haiyan has weakened somewhat, but still very much, well, if you look at the satellite loop, still very much a huge storm. Moving across the Philippines, luckily somewhat exiting the area where it looks like the main part of the storm is somewhat past, but obviously all of these bands of cloudiness and stuff. So in the Philippines, they are luckily down to a signal number 2, down from a signal number 4, where it was yesterday. Now for signal number 2, winds in excess of 60 to 100 kilometers per hour. So that at least is a tapering off. And of course, still the problem with the rainfall, the sea travel being risky, and of course flash floods and landslides. Storm surge problems with that, obviously, but luckily it is starting to move away. Now, with the current forecast, they kind of swallowing up all of the satellite. So this thing is predicted, I believe, to continue to weaken somewhat, but when it makes landfall in Vietnam, it will probably still be very much a strong typhoon. It won't presumably be a super typhoon. Not surprisingly, in Vietnam, they have a typhoon warning in effect for the coming storm. And this kind of, here's a nice zoomed out satellite view that just kind of gives you, I mean, look at that. That is probably actually associated with that thing too. So this, just a huge storm system in general, leaving just quite a lot of destruction in its wake. So there is also a new storm over here. Previously up to a high chance of tropical cyclone formation, now an actual tropical cyclone. This thing is Tropical Cyclone 3 in the Arabian Sea. Now, I was not able to find any meteorological data for Somalia, no official website or whatnot, but surely there will be winds, rains, and stuff of the sort expected with this thing. Let's see which one it is. And possible, storm surge problems, obviously. And it looks like the outer bands are quite possibly already starting to affect the land area. And then this thing over here in the Bay of Bengal is the remnants of, Tropical Depression 30. So this is actually what was Tropical Depression 30, which I believe started actually out here. Never did make it to tropical storm status, though some of the forecasts had predicted that. And now quite possibly going to redevelop out here. So that is that storm, and that is what is happening in the land of tropical cyclones. Things still quiet over here. And this thing, whose storm season or whatnot kicked off on November 1st, there hasn't been anything that developed into anything. There have been some probability areas there that have happened already. But yes, that is what is happening in the land of tropical cyclones. Now we move over to where there's no news at all, which is U.S. severe thunderstorm weather. So, still green and predicted to stay green across the board for the next few days. SevereWeatherTV.com is the official homepage of the screencast. Wigglewix is WICKEDWX.com. And Cyclocane is CYCLOCANE.com. And that is it for today. And hopefully you're staying safe out there.